Hello, my name is Connor Smolinski, and my report was on do video games lead to violence. Now, before I can get into this presentation, one must know what the definition of a violent video game is. Generally speaking, a violent video game is a video game in which one character brings harm to another. So, basically, unless you are playing Tetris or Pong, nowadays you're playing a violent video game. But the concept of video games has been subject of debate for many years, most notably whether video games lead to violence. This content refers to the textbook because the data is obtained through descriptive methods and correlational studies. Video games are believed to have an effect on both biological and cognitive functions as well. The research that supports the issue of video games leading to violence is that violent video games are known to increase psychological arousal. They increase aggressive cognition, emotions, and behaviors in those that play the video games. They decrease pro-social interaction. This is, if you stay in your house, in your basement playing a video game all day, obviously you're not getting out too much, so it decreases social interaction in that aspect. And research suggests that it can be a catalyst that sparks underlying issues that could cause aggression, such as if the person has depression or if there's things going on in the family causing a lot of stress. Playing a violent video game could cause some aggression to come out because of that. Also, playing a violent video game is believed to increase the rate of bullying, especially in females, which I found very interesting because I normally don't associate girls to be mean. I like girls that are nice, and guys, they're kind of mean sometimes. But it's also known that children are more likely to mimic what they see. So if younger children see violent content in a video game or like on TV or some sort of media, then they're more likely to go out and mimic that behavior. Some of the research that refutes that violent video games lead to aggression, or video games in general, is that it actually, in a sense, kind of promotes social interaction, and this is through, it can be achieved through multiplayer. Games nowadays, they have online multiplayer where people from around the world can get together and game with one another, which I think is awesome. And people can have their friends come over and have like little friend night in the game all night and interact in that way. People that play pro-social video games are more likely to volunteer and help each other out outside, like in reality. So someone who plays a game that focuses, that is pro-social, is more likely to interact and help those that are in need. It increases visual-spatial cognition, which is the cognitive process, which allows people to scan an area and be able to interpret and analyze a situation quickly and be able to realize the consequences of their actions almost immediately. And playing video games can also be used as an educational device. This has been seen recently and firsthand by me with Leapsters, which are their little handheld video games that they're aimed at little children to help them learn numbers, letters, all kinds of things that can be used in there to sort of help them get a kickstart whenever they get enrolled into school. Other research that refutes that violent video games lead to aggression is, like I said earlier, that competitive gameplay can promote peer interaction. Some games actually require that everyone participating work together to achieve their goal. And there's a lack of longitudinal studies that link aggression to violent video games. There hasn't been a real substantial long period study to say that, hey, violent video games lead to aggression. It hasn't been done. I'd like to see it be done, but like a long term, like over years, has not been, the study has not been done. Usually studies just take place for several months, but for a prolonged longitudinal study hasn't happened yet. Where I stand as of now, I don't think that video games are the direct result of aggression. I think that to assume that a video game is the one and only cause of aggression is kind of asinine, because I've been exposed to both violent and non-violent video games my entire life, and I think I'm a pretty mellow guy. I don't like real violence, so because of that, I feel that violent video games do not lead to aggression. But however, I do believe, like I said earlier, that playing a violent video game can be a catalyst to other more